guys? I'm with Angelo DiCicco today. This is going to be an awesome conversation because he's got a really cool story, and that's really why I reached out to him at the very beginning, was just because I was really fascinated by his story, and I didn't think that enough people had told it yet. And that's really what we're about here, just telling people stories and getting to know them. So again, just want to say thanks for joining on, man. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
So, dude, how old are you?
21. I'll be 22 in, let's see.
Holy shit.
7 days.
What? Oh, well, happy, I guess, early birthday, man.
Early
That's
birthday,
awesome. Yeah, dude. So, holy cow. Dude, I had no idea. I thought you were a little bit, I thought you were a little bit older than that. Oh, my gosh.
No.
Dude, that's insane. And you're in Cookeville, right?
Yeah, I'm in Cookeville.
Have you lived there all your life?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Native, man.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people ask.
Yeah, born and raised.
I'm sure people ask, like, what's in the, water, because everybody out of there is really good at CrossFit.
Dude, I have no idea. I mean, good training partners, I guess. I don't know. Heck. I have no idea.
Oh, my God. Dude, so I heard you tell this story, and I want you to fill everybody, and I don't want to give it away, but about how you got into CrossFit. I was like, this sounds like some made up stuff from a TV show. Like, this can't be legit. So please, do you mind sharing that?
So, I got into CrossFit because, let's see, I was in middle school, and my middle school gym teachers invited Rich, and this is when Dan still lived here. So Rich and Dan Bailey both came to our middle school and basically taught our class that day. And
it's amazing.
And yeah, so they taught us like CrossFit, and I said, hey, I want to do this. Can I come to the gym? And he's like, yeah, we got an on-ramp class. You're welcome to join it. They didn't even have a teens class. I don't think CrossFit Kids existed at this time. And then I started that, and then that was probably September, October of 2012. Yeah. And then I did my on-ramp class in November of 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So at that time, did you know who these guys were, or were they just really seemingly fit guys? Right? Did you have any conception of who they were?
Yeah, let's see. I have hang on, I'll go get it actually.
Yeah.
This is part of the story.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Okay, so I saw the CrossFit Games. Let's see, the 2012 games were on ESPN. Just, sometimes they play them randomly throughout the year. And I saw an event, and my dad, pointed at it. He goes, hey, that guy's from Cookeville. And, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what he was doing. But then we get this in the mail. So I think my brother or my... Yeah, oh yeah. It's signed.
That's a sign.
My brother or my mom... had a subscription to this, and then when we got this, I go, oh, so that's him. There's an article about him, and it's about what he does. And this came out, and I think I was talking about it in gym class, and then my teachers overheard me. They go, hey, he's coming here in a week or two or something. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So then I started to look into it. I had an idea of what CrossFit was by the time they got there. And I go, that's when I wanted to do it. We did a bunch of burpees or something for gym class. I think they walked in their hands, and we all thought it was awesome. So that was the beginning.
Circus animals, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what CrossFit is. The outside looking in, you're like, wow, you guys are in the circus. Cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So you had a muscle, and was that a muscle and fitness
muscle
magazine?
And fitness, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's signed, and it straight up looks like a Barbie doll version of Rich Froning. Airbrushed and everything. That is so great. And the fact that you still have that.
I got that signed in gym class, and I still have it. It's on a shelf in my room.
That's amazing.
I sent Rich a picture of it. I think we like uncovered it like 2 or 3 years ago, and I sent him a picture of it. I go, "Do you remember this?" He says, "No, not at all." That's
He's
so
like,
funny.
he was like, that was the 38th autograph I
Yeah,
signed
exactly,
that day. I have no idea.
exactly. And that's so funny.
Okay, so you end up going to, like, I guess at that time the original CrossFit Mayhem, like the
Yeah.
like the whole infrastructure really wasn't built at that time, right?
So yeah. So the one we're in now, there have been several iterations before I started. As in, like, they had it at Tech, they had it at the back of a cheer gym, and they had it in the back of like a baseball gym. Like, they just kind of moved around for the first couple years, and then I think like 2 or 3 years in, they established that one gym, and it was more downtown Cookeville, and then now we're in the big one. So yeah, I started in, I wouldn't say the original one, but the older one compared to the one now.
Okay, so you do your on-ramp class, and I guess at what point did you go, okay, hey, I'm willing, or not willing, wanting, should say, to compete, or did you even know there was a such thing as a because a lot of people I hear they're like, I didn't even know this, people did this competitively.
Yeah,
just one day I figured I was decent at burpees. Like, was that you or?
So I think it was like a one day or a couple days where I kind of decided that I wanted to compete in it. And I was so young, I had no idea what I was doing. The teen division didn't exist. So I kind of like just started training a little extra. There were a couple days where I'm like, I don't want to go in. These workouts look like they suck. Maybe it was wall balls or double unders, normal stuff that people just don't like. And especially because I was short, because I was a kid. I think I was probably like 5'5", 5'6", and that's obviously great. I grew from there. But like, I didn't like wall balls, and I couldn't learn double unders. Handstand push-ups sucked. So I would skip those days, and then there was a time where I was like, okay, I'm not going to skip those days. I'm just going to go in, and whenever, whatever the workout is, I'm going to do it. And then when I stopped cherry picking, it's kind of when I really started to like it, because then obviously I got better at it.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember, maybe I was probably 13 or 14, and I said, okay, well, I want to do maybe some of these local competitions, and then, maybe one day I can compete in the CrossFit Games. That was kind of the goal really early on.
Did you have success at those? Like, because there were no team. Now there are at local comps, but like back then there were no team divisions, or probably even masters. It was just like, hey guys, we have RX and scale.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I would call it personal success. I'd get like PRs and stuff. But I wasn't winning or anything. And I think the first teen competition I did was when I was 15. It was, I can't remember. Well, there was a teen competition. One of the guys in my gym was like, hey, you should go do this. There's actually a teen competition. It was one of the first ones I had heard of. And me and a friend of mine went and did it. I think there were only like 5 kids. Wow. But I ended up winning. And I was like, man, that's really cool. And so, I wouldn't say that I had really good success like in the big competitions, like what I would call big, big local competitions. But I would PR my lifts, or I would go really fast on a workout, and then I'd, kind of want to go back.
Yeah, it's like the very sadistic spell of CrossFit.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm never gonna do that again. 30 minutes later.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I see there's a nice shadow box. For those that are watching can see.
I hate that I'm right here. I haven't done a podcast right here, obviously, so I hate that that's right in the background.
No, dude, it's a gold medal. You shouldn't be ashamed of it.
That's my other one too.
Sick. So, bridge the gap, like kid going into CrossFit Mayhem, cherry picking the double under workouts.
Yeah.
To doing some local comps. Like, I'm trying to understand. Like, yes, I understand the sport evolves, and I understand, but like, it seems to me, in every competitor that I've had the opportunity to talk to, there's just like there's a switch. They're just different.
Yeah.
And when did that come on for you? And you were like, man, like, I think I can do this. And because at that time, like you said, there wasn't even a team division. So can you walk me through kind of how that like, and I don't even actually know this story.
Yeah.
It's not rhetorical. I really don't know. Like, when did the teen division come out, and did you do it the first year, or how did that work?
Okay, so I did do the teen division the first year. Let's see, the switch. Yeah, it was before the teen division existed. It like I just wanted to. I don't know. It was just like anything, you know. In high school, I feel like in high school, that's about the time that I started, and then I started to compete when I started high school. You know, I think for anybody, that's like when you kind of dedicate yourself to either one or two sports. You know, you can't really play them all anymore. They're getting pretty serious. So I kind of like, you know, chose CrossFit. I go, you know, my friends are playing, you know, football, baseball, whatever it is. And I played a little bit of lacrosse, and that was just kind of more for fun, but I knew I didn't want to pursue that. I kind of like chose my sport, and it's like, okay, you know, I'm just going to do the normal thing. I'm going to go through these 4 years, and I'm going to try to get better at it. And then, you know, maybe for a couple years after that, I have to continue to do it. And then, you know, maybe when I'm 20 or 21, hopefully I'm getting close to the games. And then, you know, from then on, I kind of want to start going. That was kind of what I laid out, you know, because you think about, if you're going to play a professional sport, you're probably going to be 23 or 24 before you even get into it. But you're going to put those 8 years, you know, 8, 9, even 10 years of playing before it. So that's kind of how I looked at it, just like any sport. When the teen division came out, so it was 2015, actually, that year, it's my first year. In 2015, it started, and they came out and they only released like a little information about it, like not a ton. So they said, we're going to have a teen division in the open, and if you're a teenager, you can compete in it. And I didn't care anything about it. I go, I don't care if I'm going to be the fittest 15-year-old, you know, why do I care? Right. I go, I just want to go to the games one year. Like, it doesn't affect me if to be able to say, oh yeah, I was the fittest 15-year-old. No, I kind of want to see where I stack up against the guys that I want to compete against. So I didn't sign up for the teen division in the open. And we started, you know, obviously I did the open workout on Friday. It was it was toes to bar, deadlift and snatches, I want to say. It was the Froning Fraser face-off, and then it was a heavy clean and jerk.
Yes, I remember that.
And the only thing I remember is the heavy clean and jerk, because that was awesome. And so I did that workout the normal way, you know, with 115 on Friday, and then I came in the gym on Monday, and the same guy who wanted me to do the teen division competition came up to me and said, "Hey, did you sign up for the teen open?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't care anything about that." And seriously, and he goes, "Dude, have you seen these scores?" And I'm like, "We're looking at the scores, and obviously, you know, some aren't in, but he's like, you would be winning right now." He's like, "Your score for sure would be winning." And I was like, you know, let's do it. I'll do the workout. And then I think I won the workout, and I took like, you know, maybe third or fourth in the lift, and I was on top of the leaderboard after you know, week 1. And then it was only after week 4, which I think I was still on top of the leaderboard for the open. And at week 4, Dave announced that they're going to have a teen division at the games. So if I wouldn't have signed up that week 1,
you wouldn't have been able to.
I wouldn't have been able to compete. I wouldn't have been able to compete. And this is going to jump. The story's going to jump around a little bit, but that's okay. This ties right into this season so much that it's crazy. So on Friday, let's see, the open workout, the double unders and wall walks came out, and it was the class workout that everyone was going to do. So I came in and I was just going to, you know, do whatever I was going to do some lifting or whatever. And I go out, you know, I'll do this workout because everyone else is doing it, and I kind of want to see where my fitness is at, because I knew it wasn't great. And so I did the workout, or I told one of my friends who was a judge, and, you know, he's a coach and a judge. I go, "Hey, do you mind just counting my reps and telling me if I get any no reps or anything?" I do it just because I'm curious. I just want to hold myself to the standard. He's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So I did it with a judge on Friday, and then, you know, I was like, "Man, that's a stupid workout," and didn't think anything else about it after that. And then Monday afternoon, I want to say around 3 or 4 o'clock, Rich texts me and says, "Hey, we need an alternate for our team. Do you mind signing up?" He goes, "I know you did the open workout, but I didn't see you signed up." I go, "Yeah." I go, "Come on, really?" I go, "You really want me to do that?" I go, "I haven't, man, I haven't been training and whatever." He goes, "I don't care." He goes, "We need just like a warm body." He goes, "I know you." He goes, "I know you're decent." He goes, "Yeah, you're a warm body. We can fill the position."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I signed up for the open. I didn't redo the workout, but I signed up for the open. Like, what is it? Close, I think 7:00.
Mm-hmm.
I signed up like 5:00. So I was about 2 hours away from not competing this year as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that because there's so much that's where like all of my questions came from. But I wanted to jump really quick to the high school thing because I know how catty high school is.
For sure.
Did doing CrossFit make you like the unpopular kid?
Not unpopular. So I guess I can go back to, I was doing it heavily once I was in 8th grade, I think. That was pretty much all I did. So in gym class, I remember there was one day, I was just like on Fridays, we kind of got to do whatever we wanted as long as we were doing some kind of, playing or doing whatever. And I used to try to walk on my hands, or we had ropes to climb, and they didn't want me climbing the rope too high, but obviously I knew how to do rope climbs. Yeah, I knew how to do rope climbs because I learned it at the gym. I had the foot technique down already and everything, and I wanted to walk on my hands. We had a pull-up bar, and I think I had the record for pull-ups or whatever, so that's what I was doing. And everyone,
this dude blitzed the presidential test, like world record.
Everyone,
so
everyone kind of knew that's what I did. Everyone kind of knew that I was the guy who just, worked out a lot. And then my freshman year of high school, I actually went to school for my freshman year. And then I was playing lacrosse that year as well. And then that summer, I went to the games. So after that summer, I actually met a couple teens at the games who were homeschooled because they were like Olympic lifters as well. They were mostly Olympic lifters, and they kind of went to CrossFit because obviously they had all this strength and they just had to get a little fit to compete. And so I was talking to them about it. I go, how does that work and everything? And they kind of broke it down for me. And I told my parents after the games, I think I was supposed to start school, like the Wednesday after the game. So like I think we flew home on Monday or Tuesday, and then Wednesday I was supposed to go to school. And I told my parents, I go, I don't want to go. I'm not going. And then so I was still enrolled at the high school and everything, and I had like all my friends text me like, hey, are you coming or whatever? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to be homeschooled. So then I actually did get a lot of ridicule for that.
Wow.
Because they didn't really, no one really understood it, because it didn't. Yeah, because you always hear about kids. Obviously, like the thing that jumps in my mind is like, kids that blow up like singers or actors. I always knew that they did like this homeschool or online school stuff. And so, we just kind of researched it and found some there's actually a lady in town who homeschooled her daughter and had all the curriculum and everything, and kind of like she actually works at the college. And so she pretty much, walked me through it, kind of what I needed to do, and gave me the classes I needed to do, and we signed up for it, and that's what I did. I just put myself through school, the rest of high school.
So this was going into your sophomore year? Is that right? Or,
yep,
okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't know that part of the story. It's so interesting you say that, because nowadays it's like, you hear these phenoms like Emma Carey or Mal O'Brien. It's like, oh, duh. But like,
yeah.
People, I hope people can appreciate what you're saying, because you were in a lot of ways a pioneer.
Oh yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
know what they say, pioneers get slaughtered. So,
yeah, it wasn't easy. I definitely got some because I don't know where it came from, to be honest, but yeah, I did get like a lot of ridicule and from classmates, and I can't even understand it now. I don't even get it. Like, I guess they just didn't understand it. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'm not coming to school. And then for some reason, I had a lot of people kind of like not like that, but whatever.
People don't like what they don't know. That's just facts.
That's true.
Man.
That's true.
Or things that are unfamiliar.
Yeah, it was very unfamiliar, even to me.
Yeah. So okay. So you're homeschooling, sophomore year, and so I'm assuming that means like at that point, like you're working out like two,
Yeah.
3 sessions a day, like really
Yeah.
taking this professional athlete to the next level. Is that assumption right?
Yes and no. So, so that off season, man, I had a long off season. Now that I'm thinking about it, I got the flu, and then which doesn't, pales in comparison to that November, December. Is when I had my first stress fracture in my back, and so, and I guess I don't know exactly when it happened, but that's when the pain that kind of stuck with me at that whole season, that's when it started. So that whole off season was not great. And then obviously, if you knew anything about that season, is I almost didn't qualify for the games in 2016 when I aged up into the next division.
Right.
I almost didn't even make it. I think I was in 12th going into the last week. And then on the last week of the Open, I got strep throat and had a fever of 102. And and I did the Open workout once. So that was one. Rich, Matt, and Ben did that in Aromas. And then Matt crushed them. Obviously, Matt. Those are Matt's some of his best movements, and he's really fit. But anyways, Rich came back and redid the workout with me. So me and him redid it in his garage. This is in his garage. This is before the barn. We did it in his garage, and I finished it. Everyone would, no one was getting near me because I had strep, and I was actually
super contagious. Yeah.
And no one would get near me. I finished the workout, and it was the worst I had ever felt after a workout. I mean, I felt awful. And I did enough. I slipped in at 10th, and then I think I took 10 days off. I didn't do anything because I was just so sick. And that whole season I just kind of limped along with that back issue. After the games that year, I took third that year. After the games, I went and got it looked at and realized, I did have a stress fracture. And so that was, it just wasn't a great season, but, to finish third with all that I knew I had been through that year was it was pretty cool for me. So I was very happy. But yeah, that was the second year. So yes and no, I was, the goal was to train all the time. So back to what you're saying is went homeschooled for the goal of training, but I wasn't training as much as I wanted to that year because I was just hurt. So I was trying to train a lot, but I couldn't.
And you said there was never a definitive moment where you go, oh man, I just hurt my back. There wasn't pulling 315 or something that you go, wow, something just popped. You just it's just kind of an onset.
Because I think I'm not 100% sure, because I don't know, but it sounds so like what happened to Frazier when he was younger. It's kind of similar to what happened to him. But see, he said how he had a pop, but I never had that. I never had, or that I can remember at least. I feel like I would remember. I just remember there were a couple days when I would try to lift and it was just felt off. I couldn't pull right. My back was hurting. Everything kind of just felt weird, and I was like, this can't be right. And that was in November or very early December of 2015. So going into the 2016 season, and that's when that kind of stuck with me the whole season. And it was just it was bad. That season was really bad. I had no idea what was wrong with me, and there were days that were just real bad. I wouldn't train at all. Back was killing me. But that was dumb.
Well, it's interesting because if you Google your name and you Google back with your name, there's
that's
so much stuff.
The first thing you see, yeah.
That's the first thing you see, right? And a lot of people call it degenerative back disorder. I'm just curious, where did that come from? Because a stress fracture sounds different.
Okay.
And maybe I'm just ignorant. I don't know.
No. So there's a ton more to the story, which is crazy.
As there always is.
Yeah. So let's see. So we'll fast forward. 2016, I took third. 2017, I got healthy and actually had a good season that year. No issues. Got through 2017. That was my last year as a teen.
Crushed it.
And I won that year. So that was a great year. I was healthy. I was training a lot, and I was really fit. It was awesome. And then after the 2017 season, I obviously was aging out and didn't know what I wanted to do. this was the same year going into 2018 is when they went from 6 people on a team to 4 people on a team. And so with that switch, they cut the Mayhem team down, obviously. And then, so Darren was like, Darren was their third guy, but he was fine with not competing. He was fine with, kind of doing whatever. And then the 2 girls wanted to compete because we had 2 more girls and 2 more girls at the gym who wanted to compete. So the 4 of us kind of decided, hey, we can do a team. And I thought, okay, this is probably a good. There are plenty of individual athletes that went team for a couple of years, and then once they, either matured in the sport or just got better, they would switch into the individual side. I think that may be a good, because there is definitely a gap, obviously, from me being 18 to needing to be, probably 20 or 21 to be competitive. So I took that spot on the team, and then let's see, the Open in 2018, I started to have my back problems again, like bad ones. And so I didn't really know what was going on. This is when Lindy Barber was here. And so she helped me kind of like, figure out what was wrong with it. And then one day it was just like really, really bad. And this is right after the Open in 2018. And we had qualified for regionals and everything, that's no problem because we were a pretty solid team. And so I was talking to Lindy, and she had, because I don't even know the long list of her back issues, but she's dealt with several back issues in her career, in her life, really. I think she was born with some, and then others she's like kind of got on from that injury that she was, or from that, I guess, deficiency, I would say, that she was born with. But obviously, she had a good career, and she kind of worked around it. So I asked her, I go, hey, will you come to the doctor with me, because you obviously have heard kind of this stuff and heard what they've said, so maybe you can decipher what I should do based on their decision. Okay. So this was March or April of 2018, and she came to the doctor with me, and we kind of got a CT scan or an MRI, I can't really remember. They said I had 2 bulging discs.
Oh my God.
And then they were on the verge, like herniation and degenerative disc disease, which really, honestly, all it means is that my discs age faster than my body. And like, that's the best way to explain it. And several, it's not like super uncommon, but not many people are doing, doing the volume that, you would say that CrossFitters or powerlifters or Olympic lifters are doing with that kind of injury. So, I feel like all of that is relatively new, is having that kind of lifting volume on those issues. So, we did what we thought we should do. My back was hurting all the time. Like, there were no days that I could just wake up and it would not feel bad. There was no amount of what I felt like accessory work to fix it. And so I pretty much, me and Lindy decided, I'm just going to drop out. I'm going to not compete this season. So I drop out. Luckily, we had a guy, Ted Starkweather, who, stepped in, and they took 4th at the games, or 5th at the game. I think that they took 4th or 5th of the games. So obviously, they were fine without me. But at that point, I was not training or anything. So that was where the degenerative problem came from. And, doing more research and kind of, not just listening to what they had to say, because a lot of people want to blame the doctors for saying, oh, you can't do that, or, you're never going to be able to lift again. And you got to look at it from their side, that like, if they say, hey man, this is okay, do some physical therapy and you can be fine. That's a liability, that's an insurance thing right there. Is like, if they tell you, oh no, you're fine, you can do this, or you can start lifting again and you'll be fine if you just do some core work and you'll be fine. On paper, that's probably not the best thing to do on an insurance purpose. I think I'm sure. Yeah. So you have to think of it from their side, that they can't just tell you you're going to be fine, because they don't know. They're just trying to err on the side of caution. And, so I ended up doing my own research and kind of figuring out that, like I said, degenerative disc disease really isn't, it's not a huge problem unless you kind of let it become. So there's just other things that I have to focus on, me personally, that that others may not. Everyone's got some kind of deficiency. Like I think, Rich has his knee issue. Everyone's maybe got, maybe a shoulder issue. Some people have a torn labrum, whatever it is. So everyone's got a little deficiency. No one's perfectly healthy if you're really trying to compete hard. So that's just my little thing that I got to pay attention to. And the bulging discs, as far as I know, I've corrected. So that's something that people kind of deal with, and I would consider like a bulging disc like a sprained ankle. You can a sprained ankle sucks and it hurts, but after a month, if you're really smart with it, it's better. And then 6 months after, if you're really smart, then it's going to be pretty much fine. So, kind of doing my research and figuring that stuff out, that I knew that if I did the right stuff, I could fix it essentially.
So in that time, were you doing rehab, like PT, or were you just kind of doing your own thing, like via the people around you? Because I mean, you had some, to your credit, you had some smart people around you, people that have been in the sport and had success in it. Oh yeah.
I did nothing for at least a year. I did like nothing. Like I did so, as in nothing, meaning I only worked out if it wouldn't hurt my back. I did no physical therapy. I did no rehab. I did no nothing. I didn't care. Like, I just didn't care. I didn't want to compete. Like, it was never a goal of mine to compete again, because it just like,
really.
Oh yeah. Wow. It hurt all the time. I said, I just, and there were a lot of other factors that went into that. Like, I started to have a lot of questions of like, this is, now being a little older, it feels stupid. But at the time, I was an 18-year-old kid, and I go, man, I can't compete with these guys. They're so good. I don't know if I can ever get to that level. And so I just didn't. That was part of it. Especially, I was like, okay, these guys are healthy, and they're like talking about regional level athletes. I go, these guys are healthy. They're training all year round, and they're still not going to the games. I go, I'm always hurt. How am I going to get to the games? Always hurt. I'm always having to alter my training. I go, there's no way. So I'm like, I'm just not going to compete. I'm going to find other stuff to do. And so I just started doing, like I said, just anything that wouldn't hurt my back, regular bodybuilding stuff. I would just do CrossFit, like the class workout or something, or just a workout a day with my friends, like pull-ups or, assault bike, or, something that I could do, burpees, wall balls, stuff that wouldn't hurt my back.
And this was 2018, right?
2018. So 2018, 2019, in there. Yeah. For basically 2 years. Man, I wish I would have paid attention to the timeline more, but yeah, that's like, I don't know.
So
like
2 years, you said.
At least.
No competing. Like, to be fair, like, I'm done with CrossFit, so to speak.
Yeah.
At least competitive CrossFit.
I would say that all the way up until until January or February, or I guess whenever the Open started this year is when I decided I was going to compete again. To be fair, I did do one competition in Brazil. It was a sanctional. So when the sanctionals came out, I go, man, this is a cool opportunity that I don't have to train too hard. I go, I can be decent and make the qualifiers. And like, because making a qualifier is, depending on the, whatever the competition is, I go, I can get somewhat fit, try to qualify for these competitions, and use it as an excuse to travel the world. If the sanctionals were cool in that aspect, and I wasn't doing it really to make money. I was just doing it because if I could go to the competitions, get a couple sponsors to help me get out there, and that was it. Just I'll travel, because I traveled to Brazil and had no intentions of wanting to go to the games or anything. I just wanted to go, and I had friends down in Brazil, and I enjoyed doing CrossFit. And I enjoyed training for something, so. I would just try not to, just not push my back too hard and do what I could and go and have fun at some competitions. And I ended up doing that one competition in Brazil. And so I wouldn't really consider that that was more just, just for fun. I just wanted to go and have fun and try to enjoy competing. And I did. I had fun doing it. So, so if the sanctions were still around, I would still definitely be doing that.
How did you place at that competition?
I want to say there were 35 guys, maybe 33. I took 13th, so not too terrible.
For not training,
Yeah.
Say
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that come 2 years cold and it's like, hey, I'm gonna show up for this thing and these elite level athletes and get 13th.
I think I trained for like actually trained maybe 10 days. 10 days for that competition.
That's dumb. That's called residual fitness, people.
Residual fitness. Thank you. I love that term.
That's called when you create a really large base, you can build a really tall house.
Yeah. That's
This
true.
man created the base. So I'm okay. I want to ask this because this is interesting. When you got hurt, and you talked about having so much pain, you couldn't wake up without thinking about the pain. It was just there. It was a part of life. And then you decide, hey, I can't do this anymore. Like, did you feel like did you feel like you were taken off like a part of you, like in a way? Like, I mean, this has been your life in some of the most formative years.
Oh yeah.
Like, psychologically, like, did that just like, I mean, because I'll be real, like, it would have freaking destroyed me.
Yeah.
And like, you had won and had success. I've had zero success. So, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, like,
yeah, man,
this is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. I tried not to think about it, but yeah, I mean, it made me upset that like the thing that I had trained for, since I was 13, I had truly wanted to kind of compete. And so the last 5.5, 6 years was kind of dedicated to this, and it was seemingly stripped away, and I with no plan of getting it back. And so I was upset for a little while, and just tried not to think about it, but I haven't really thought about it in a long time. But yeah, it sucked. Obviously I wanted to compete. I didn't want to just stop. So I think it sucked, but I had a lot of other stuff going on, and I kept myself busy really well. Whether I was coaching at Mayhem during this time, I was starting college at this time, and I guess that's kind of what I had going on. I really liked coaching, and I wanted to keep coaching, and then I was in college and kind of was just ready for the next chapter, I guess, and try to just not think about it and just push myself into the next chapter.
Yeah, I was scrolling through your Instagram last night, and I was like, this dude's been a real estate agent, a CrossFitter, a firefighter, a coach. I was like, damn, jack of all trades.
I've done a lot, man. I've done a lot since that year in 2018 when I didn't compete. A lot has changed. I've done a lot of stuff. So
when you say a lot has changed, obviously maybe physically and the surroundings have changed. I mean, is the way you approach the game changed? I mean, is it like, what else besides just the, hey, maybe I'm in a different profession, or has changed for you? Has your outlook changed, your perspective changed?
Yeah. Outlook certainly has changed. So when I was competing as a teen, I was dedicating what I thought everything was everything. I thought I was dedicating everything. And I'd say the year in 2017, I was dedicating a lot to it. And I was training hard. I was eating better, and I was sleeping really well. My recovery was kind of, I was getting there. I was kind of figuring these things out for myself. And obviously not just for myself, I had people around me kind of helping me, but I was kind of figuring out what worked for me. And, before then I didn't, my diet was crap. My sleep was whatever, obviously I slept a lot as a teenager, and I wasn't going to school. So I was sleeping good. That was never a problem for me. I just didn't put as much emphasis on the accessory work, the recovery work. Like, I just don't think I did. And in that aspect of where I am now is, like, And I feel like everybody in the sport needs to thank, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know about needs to thank, but can at least look at Matt Fraser's career and say, okay, so if you want to be the best, you have to dedicate everything. And like, I hate to make this comparison, but the comparison between him and Rich is like,
yes, let's go there.
I hate this, but like, Rich is one of the best competitors that's ever going to live, you know, in any sport, I think. And the way I see, you know, I see him train, I see him compete. He's the best. I mean, you cannot beat him. No one's more competitive than him. And I stand by that. But what Rich did and what Matt did are so different, because Rich wanted to work out hard and be the best. And he was, and, you know, he did exactly what he needed to do. And at the point where he decided that he can't dedicate his whole life to it, he stopped. And it's a good thing he did that, because he in his earlier or later years, like 2016, 2017, he was, you know, no one was dedicating what Matt was dedicating to him. And you could never make the comparison, because if, you know, what if Rich was dedicating everything like Matt was? You know, if he was training, if he was eating, if he was sleeping, and he was putting everything he could into CrossFit, you know, who knows, you know, and you know, neither of them really care about that comparison. But where I'm headed with is, like, Matt was dedicating everything, you know, from the time he woke up to the time he went to bed, and even the times he was asleep, he was dedicating everything to it. And so I think it opens my eyes. I don't know about anybody else. It opens up my eyes to, if you want to be great at it, it has to be on the forefront of your mind all the time. Like, not most of the time, all the time. Like, every second, it has to be the thing you think about. You have to be obsessive with it. And that's changed for me this year. Going into this year, I have a lot of, you know, I'm not in the position that Matt is in, obviously, that I can't dedicate as much as he has. But if I have a choice between doing something that's going to help me compete and doing something that may or may not, I'm going to always choose the decision that's going to help me. And so, and it's pretty black and white, you know. It's like, do you want to go out and drink on Friday night, or do you want to go to bed and train on Saturday? You know, that's obvious.
100%.
Yeah, and it's like, do you want to go, I don't know, go get dinner with your friends, or do you want to go sit in the sauna and sit in the ice bath? It's like, I'm going to go sit in the sauna and sit in the ice bath. It's just like, those are the choices you have to make. And I don't really see them as sacrifices right now, because that's what I want to do. So it's just, you know, it's putting everything that I want to, you know, I don't want to look back and say, oh, maybe if I did this better or did that better, I could have been better. It's like, no, I want to know, like, I want to know where that potential is at.
Well, it's crazy to hear someone say that about Rich and Matt, especially with your proximity to Rich.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, training with him on a regular basis, and you know, this, that, and the third. But it's, you know, it's crazy, because I don't think, and we've talked about this a lot on previous episodes of this podcast, but, you know, people don't understand the, you know, I don't like the word sacrifice, because it has such a negative connotation. Because it's like, if you really love it, it's not, you know, and I think you're like, I think you were kind of hedging at that, right? It's like, it's not a sacrifice of, do I go, you know, hang with my friends or go to the ice bath? It's like, no, this is my identity as a CrossFitter, and these are the things that we do to be successful or to set ourselves up for success. And it's, you know, and I think what Matt did for the sport was really simple. Elevate.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, like Rich definitely changed the way that everyone trains, no doubt, you know.
Agreed.
No one,
Crazy.
the volume, exactly. No one would train. I don't think it'd be, you know, the sport wouldn't be where it's at without him.
Agreed.
And then same with Matt, you know, Matt kind of dialed in everything outside of the gym. And, you know, where that switch happened is right when Rich wanted to stop dedicating as much as he was to it. Matt wanted to dedicate as much as he could to it, and that's the reason I can't see the comparison. They're both the greatest in my mind in their own eras, and you know, and I think the sport owes them a lot for what they've done. But they're just crazy competitors, and it was awesome to see both sides of that, you know, and then and be able to watch them do that. It's crazy. But yeah, they elevated it to somewhere where, like, you know, no one really thought it could get this soon.
Yeah, I agree. It's been fun. I saw that picture that you posted. I don't know where it was, but you were wearing some old school Redline gear, man.
Yeah.
That shirt's probably worth no telling right now because they don't or Redline gear, Redline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was like, that's super cool. I was like, man, if I was Matt O'Keefe, I would open that up for a limited time run, $50 shirts. I would capitalize on that shit. But anyways, that's just me. By the way, where was that picture taken?
That was at Mayhem for Mustard Seed in 2016, maybe. Matt was in town and he just hopped on a team with a couple of the guys. And I think they freaking won. No, they didn't win. They took second to Rich's team. And then my team took third. I can't remember. Maybe they won and we took second. Or I don't know if Rich. It may have been a year that Rich didn't compete at it, but he just kind of ran it. I can't remember that. But yeah, he came down and a couple of the guys at the gym who are really good competitors. I think they were on one of the original Mayhem teams. They didn't have a third guy, and I think Matt was like, "Hey, I'll jump in. I don't mind."
Yeah, it's just a normal training session for me. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, so we've filled in the gap. So you're at this point. It's 2021, and the Open's rolling around, and you do it because Rich is like, "Hey, man, I want you to be the warm body, whatever."
Yeah, that's it.
That's the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard. But kudos to you because clearly you had to be some, and we've teased this out at this point. You were at some level of fit because right. So did you? I mean, at that point, did you think you were going to get back into competing, or did you? I mean, after the Brazil thing, was there like, oh wow, I got a little taste of it. This is cool, or it was? Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious. Like, where was your mindset after you got a taste of that?
So, let's see. So when he said that, when he asked me if I wanted to be the alternate, I really didn't. I'm not gonna say struggle with it, but I fought with the idea. And I was like, man, why is he asking me this? He knows that I don't train. He knows that I don't want to compete. Like, there's gotta be something here. I mean, like there's decent guys at the gym. I know I'm pretty good, but like there's some good guys at the gym you could ask who would love to do it, who would dedicate everything to it. I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. I just want to do, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing right now. And so when he said that, I wrestled with it for about a week, and then I trained a little bit extra. I threw in just maybe a couple extra workouts here and there. Then the second week of the Open came around, and just from like, I flipped the switch a little bit, and that second week, I did, really. I mean, for me, that was a terrible workout for me, and I did a lot better than I did. It was the 21.2 was the retest of 17.1. I did a lot better on that workout, and I was like, man, I got that, and I started to get a taste of it. And so then I was like, okay, what if I put in a little more work? And I put in a little more work going into the last workout of the Open. Granted, the last workout of the Open is a picture perfect workout for me. It's
really?
like, I mean, like, lighter squatting. Like, you can pretty much look at it and say the front squats and the thrusters almost mean nothing. Like, they're there. Yeah,
it's a bar muscle up workout.
Exactly, it's a bar muscle up workout, and
I did it.
A bar muscle up workout. When you tell me that you have a bar muscle up workout, it's like, okay, how many? It doesn't matter. I love bar muscle ups. Give me 100. I don't care. So when I saw toes to bar, chest to bar muscle ups, I was like, okay, yeah, this is sweet. And then I did it, and what's funny is like just the way it worked. I ended up going in the same heat with Rich and Chase, the Mayhem guys, and I was like, they said everyone who was watching, they're like watching Rich, he's crushing it, and then they see Chase, Chase is right behind Rich, and then they're like, somewhere along the way, we look over, you go, oh my God, Angelo's keeping up with them, and like no one expected, I didn't expect it, because I remember getting the bar muscle ups, and I started knocking some out. I think I got to 12 or 15, and Rich like wasn't done. I'm like, okay, he's right there. And so I just hopped up and I kept going, and he ended up beating me by 45 seconds or whatever it was. And then everyone was like, dude, how did you do that? And I I had no idea. I mean, it was, like I said, picture perfect workout for me. And I started training a little bit more. After that, I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? I go, you're almost keeping up with Rich in workouts. You're like, it's, and that wasn't where I was several years ago. Maybe I was, I can't remember. But I was like, I was right there, 30 seconds, 40 seconds behind him. Obviously he's still beating me handily, but for me, they're kind of like little wins. I'm like, this is weird for me, and I don't know what's going on. And, yeah, so like, I just started having a little bit of success here and there, and I started to kind of get the itch again,
Yeah, you got the itch again all the way to qualifying. I mean, so
yeah,
but like, okay, so you do the open, and I'm assuming you place like pretty. I don't know the exact number. You probably know. I'm assuming you're probably top 100.
Yeah.
Just
in the open.
Yeah,
900th.
So, so you're 900 something.
Yeah. Like 900 something, but that workout was like top 70 in the open, like that bar muscle workout. So it was something. It was yeah. That workout was like that workout. Yeah, it was like in the top 100. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so clearly easy 10%. You move on.
Yeah.
At that point, were you like, well, I don't really need to do this. Like, I did the open, I checked my box. Like, why did you like? Because at that point, you could have been done.
Yeah. At that point, I had that thought for maybe a day or two, and then I started to seriously think about it. I'm like, I'm not really hurt anymore. Because I guess the past 6 months leading up to that point, I actually put a lot of kind of work in on my rehab and focusing on my back and, the things I needed to do. I was stretching a lot more. I was doing mobility work, and this was not to compete. This was to feel better and to be healthy and to be able to work out like I wanted to. Because at that point, let's see, I was doing I was following almost a routine. I was doing one Metcon. I was doing some kind of lifting session and some bodybuilding. That was what I did. I would do, 10 or 15 minute workout. I would do whatever it is, some clean and jerks and back squats. And then I would do back and biceps. That was like that was a normal day, normal day.
I love the back and biceps, man. The show
normal
muscles.
Day. And so I, obviously to anybody that's a good amount of working out, but you have to think about it from my perspective that I had, for me, I have a job to work at, that was as a firefighter, we can get into this later, but that's what I wanted to, I wanted to be the best that I could possibly be, for the time that I did, I never knew if I was going to need it. So I was trying to train hard, and that's all I cared about. I want to train hard. I want to show up to fire scenes, and I want to be, I want to be the best guy on the fire scene. That was what I cared about. And so, I was training harder than what I would consider what normal people do. But I had, I had a goal, which was kind of the reason. But so after the open, I wrestled with the idea of, am I going to do this? What am I going to do? And I think I ended up having to talk to my parents. I was like, hey, I'm not hurt right now. I kind of want to do this, I kind of want to maybe put some more eggs in this basket, because at this time, let's see, I'm running my car detailing business. You
run a car detail business too?
Yeah, I run a car detail business. So at this time, I'm running a car detailing business. I'm doing real estate part time because I was still kind of getting into it, which I'm still kind of getting into it, but I've taken a pretty good break to compete. And then obviously I'm working at the fire station, and I'm in school full time. So in school full time at fire department, part time. I say part time real estate agent, and then I guess you could say part time detailing, which I just own the company and I did some of the work. So there's a ton of stuff on my plate, and it's all I'm ecstatic about it. I love doing all that stuff, and I don't. It's not a problem for me. It didn't feel like work. All this stuff was fun. Okay, so right now I want to be good at real estate, but I have my whole life to be good at real estate. Let's put that on the back burner. It was like, what can I put on the back burner that isn't important to me now? So real estate, back burner. Detailing business. I hired 2 people to do all the work for me, so I put that on the back burner. All I do is run the books now. And then school. I have no choice. I have to go to school for my job. So I finished that semester of school, and I'm in my second semester right now. Semester, I guess this is a trimester, I think. Mm-hmm. And so school was kind of still on the forefront, sadly. And then work is the the number one priority. If I don't have my fire department job, all this goes out of the picture. All of this is just, I can't do any of it.
Why is that?
Well, I wouldn't have any money to support myself.
Well, is the car detailing business like doing well?
True.
Okay, I was like, is this like a passion project, or are we like feeding the homeless? Which is cool if that's what it is. I'm just trying to understand.
Most of my income comes from the fire department.
Okay, cool.
Obviously, I'm making no money with the real estate right now. It's actually costing me money. The detailing business gets in money, but it's more of like, it's not enough that I could just support my whole life off of it. And then obviously,
you've got endless amounts of cars at CrossFit Mayhem. Tell Rich you want to put some freaking flyers. I mean, come on, he can help you out. Jesus.
True. And which I the most of my money is coming from the fire department, and obviously not being able to do as much of the detailing, I'm having to pay my guys, so I'm not making as much money as I would like to. But the benefits and everything, and it's just. That's such a stable job. It's hard to lose. I agree. Yeah, unless you're an idiot, you don't lose that job. You show up, and I mean, it's, for the most part, I'd say like 75% of the time, it's the easiest job you've ever had. It's the best job you ever had. 25% of the time, you got stuff to deal with, and obviously there are times, like the way I explain it to people is like 95% of the time, the work is fine. There's sometimes hard stuff, sometimes other easier stuff. But that 5% of the time, there's nothing harder. You can't do anything harder than that 5% of the time. There's nothing, You're never going to do anything harder than that. So I want to put as much as I can on the back burner, and I'm going to focus on CrossFit. I'm going to put all that I can into it, like I said, I can't put into it what I need to or what I want to, I guess. But I can put in a lot. I can focus a lot on it, and I pretty much just mapped it out. I go, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the fire station. My days off, training. Training, recovery, food, sleep. That's my main priority. My days there, I'm still, first and foremost, I'm going to do my job, do my duties as my job, and then I'm going to train. And I even talked to my lieutenant, and I said, hey, I basically ran him through what we just talked about, my history with it. Where I'm at and kind of what I want to do with it. And we have a great gym at our station. And I guess if you went through my Instagram, you may have seen it. And,
I was about to say, like, I'm doing this firefighting gig, and then I see touch and go power snatches. I'm like, we know this guy's competing. Dude, come on, no one's doing touch and go power snatches for fun, bro. You're not kidding me.
We have a sweet setup. We have at my station, we have 2 rowers, an assault runner. An air bike.
Damn. Assault runner?
Yeah, assault runner. The assault runner is brand new, but we have an assault runner.
One. I hate it.
Dude, I just bought one too, actually. I have one at my house. I have one at every gym I go to. I have one at my house, my work. I got them everywhere, dude. I got assault runners everywhere.
They're brutal, man.
They are.
It makes running on the road a joke.
I've done a ton of assault runner running lately, and I've kind of started to like it, but I do enjoy running on the road, obviously. So yeah, I talked to pretty much everyone who was important to me at the time. I kind of told them, I go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm dedicating it all. There's another guy who I don't even put a name to him because I don't want to, who I texted and I said, hey man, I trust your opinion very much. I go, do you think that I'm wasting potential by not competing? And I think I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was on the lines of fuck yeah. It's along the lines of fuck yeah you are. He goes, you're being an idiot.
Awesome.
This is like right after I I'm sure you saw the video of like I attempted a 365 clean, and it was close. You know, it was there.
It was.
He goes, a guy like you making a solid attempt at a 365 clean. He goes, your strength numbers are there. He's
Agreed.
like, you can. He goes, if you if you can dedicate some time and be smart about it, like not like you were when you were an idiot kid. He goes, then you can. He goes, you can be good. And so that was it. That was it for me. I go, okay, I'm being an idiot. I need to do this. Like, I have people in my life who want to see me do it. I want to see me do it. At that point, it was like the fear of the unknown. If I don't do it when I'm 30 or 40, am I going to look back and say, you know, when I'm, you know, maybe I could be a very successful real estate agent. Maybe I'm really high up in the fire department. Maybe I'm doing great stuff. But am I always going to look back and think, man, you know, you wasted your younger years not trying to compete. You know, you could have been good. And I would have never known. So that's when I flipped the switch.
Ooh. There's so much to unpack there. I'm curious, do you train most at the fire station, or do you train most at CrossFit Mayhem, or how does that work?
So our schedule is 24 on, 48 off. So those 24 on, you know, I live at the fire station. Obviously, I have my own room. I have everything. So I treat it like, you know, it's like home. Like it's like having a big home gym is all it is. And then the 48 off, I'm at either Mayhem or the barn.
Okay. All right. See, that it's interesting. It seems like a very like close, like, and granted, you're on the inside, so you know obviously more than I do. It seems like a very like close knit like thing. Like there's like CrossFit Mayhem, and then there's like the barn of like the barn is like the. Like I imagine like the barn being like the place they developed like Captain America, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's what I envisioned it as. Maybe you can elaborate more.
Yeah, like I guess, I mean, I like to train at the gym personally. I do like the gym because I have some friends at the gym, and I like to go there and hang out and train or whatever. But then, you know, it's I think the barn, the obviously the reason Rich likes the barn is because he doesn't have to leave his house. His kids hang out in the barn all day long. So you know, whatever he's doing, if Hillary's not there, then she can just dump the kids down at the barn, and the kids will play with us. And you know, if she is there, obviously she'll just, you know, kind of play with them, whatever. But they like to hang out in the barn, and I think that's Rich's way of, you know, instead of him having to go to work like a normal dad, he gets to still hang out with his kids. And I, you know, I can't fault him for that. Obviously,
100%.
if I was in that position, obviously that's what I'd want to do too. So, and I don't think any of the rest of us have any kids. I mean, I know I don't. so
Not
I don't,
that
you
you know of.
not that I know of.
Right.
And so they, so obviously he wants to stay home, and, you know, everyone can understand that. So we go to the barn to train, and it's easier for him, and, you know, pretty much just like his inner circle gets to work out there. You know, I don't want to, he pretty much just, you know, when he invites his friends, it's just like anybody else. If I invite some friends over to work out at my gym, and then he just ends up having the best gym to work out at. And so yeah, I think it's just, you know, it's just like anywhere else. Like if I had friends, they'd come over to my gym. He has his friends that go over to his gym. It just so happens that his friends and him are really fit.
Right, yeah, just super fit, winning the CrossFit Games. That's not odd at all. So you decide you want to go all in on competing, and you have these conversations with your inner circle about, hey, look, I'm putting this in. Do you think I'm wasting my time? Like, do you think I can make it? This, that, and the third. And not to mention, it's been a goal. I mean, you said it. Like, you didn't want to sign up for the team division because you wanted to be competing with the big dogs. Understandably so.
Yeah.
And now you're at the point where you go, okay, I'm going to do this. The switch flips. Now we go to quarterfinals. Yeah. Was there ever a thought in your head that you were like, I'm not going to qualify? Or did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no way. I didn't think I was going to qualify at all. Like, the goal was like a 3-year plan. The goal was get close, you know, maybe top 200, top 250 in the quarterfinals, kind of be somewhat on the warpath to getting there. And then after that, maybe next year I can go to semifinals or be close. And then after that, I kind of want to be a front runner at semifinals. And then maybe after that, I could go to the games. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to I'm trying not to build up those expectations, because that's when you have unneeded stress. So I was like, I can't change the past 2 or 3 years of my basically non-training. These guys have been training hard. I'm not gonna be able to compete with them. Yes, we knew I had the residual fitness, and I was training hard again, so I knew that I could, somewhat be close, but I didn't know. I didn't think that I would qualify at all. And then after it came out after the first 2 workouts that I think I was in I was in a qualifying spot. And then after the next 2, I was even better in a qualifying spot. And after the last one, I realized I had qualified, and I was like, man, this is, it's happening a lot quicker than I thought. So yeah, no, I didn't think I was going to qualify at all.
Oh man. Do you vividly remember the point where you go, oh shit, I'm going to qualify for a semifinal?
Yeah, well, I thought I did really poor on the last event, on the 5th event. And I think I was in
that was 80, the wall ball row, right?
This power snatch box
power
jump.
Snatch, yeah, high
box jump. Yeah,
those were crazy. Yeah.
I didn't think I did good on it, and I thought that it was bad enough to push me out of a qualifying spot. And I was just nervous. I didn't have any reason to think that. I think I was in 82nd or 80th or whatever. So there was really mathematically almost no chance for me to not get in. And I remember getting in, and I was like, man, this is cool, because I've always looked up to the regional athletes. I was like, regional athletes, if you're around a regional level athlete, at least back in the day, a couple years ago, if you're around a regional level athlete, they're really fit. They're fit guys.
I agree with you.
And so I was like, man, I'm not in the upper, I'm not that 1%, but I'm close. I'm in the top 3% or whatever, 5%. I'm up there with those guys, and I was like, that's pretty cool to me. So going to semifinals was more than enough, to make me happy.
Yeah, how that math works out is if you got 80 something place, you're in the top 1%, not 3%.
Cool. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's yeah. I wasn't going to let that slide, because I think you're fitter than you think, and we all think, anyways. So, alrighty. I assume you, because the proximity to home, I'm assuming you picked to go to the MAC, right? That was your first choice?
Yeah. So the MAC was the first choice, and then the second choice was the West Coast, because I was like, okay, I'm either going to have an easy travel trip and just go to Knoxville, drive to Knoxville real quick, or I'm going to have some fun and go visit Vegas, because I've never been to Vegas. I've only been out west for the games. It's the only time I've been more west. So I'm like, that's my next choice. But yeah, the MAC was the first choice for sure, and I'm actually glad I got it. It was just obviously easier.
Yeah, and I think I think outside of see, this is kind of the debate I've had internally of I think the MAC was probably the most stacked field, men and women.
That's what I've heard. That I've heard that, and I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it could have been. I think it definitely could have been, and I think if it wasn't, it was up there. It was hard. Given all of them, all of the ones in North America were way harder than any of those, I believe.
Look, we can say it. They're harder than Europe, because there's one guy in Europe. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but when you've got Jason Hopper, Scott Panchik, Justin Medeiros, Travis Mayer, Zach Watts, Ben Smith, Tyler Eggman, at one competition, are you joking me?
Yeah.
It's a mini games, anyways. Okay, so I'm assuming, big word here.
Yeah,
I know what happens when you assume, but I'm assuming you went into with the same mindset. Hey, I'm just happy to be here. I have no expectations. Here's my 3-year plan, and then
very much.
And then, oh, by the way, you do pretty well.
Going into it, I said I don't know if you may have seen, I guess if you looked it up, it was a little brief podcast right before the MAC with Rich and Rory, we said, I think they asked me what my expectations were. Maybe Rory just asked me on the side before. He goes, so what are your expectations? Like I said, I think I said to him, my expectations are to not get last and and
So great.
and I go, maybe the top 20, maybe be the bottom 10 guys. And he goes, you don't think you want to try to qualify? I go, dude, if I qualify, I go, the other guys should like really feel bad about it because I am not good. Like I'm not good. And like that wasn't a dig at them. It was more of just saying that I don't think I can do it this year. Like I'm not delusional. I believe in myself 100% that I can be, if I dedicate enough to it, I can be one of the front runners in the sport. Like I totally believe that. I go, but I don't think I can do it right now. And I'm not trying to set myself up with, like I said, expectations that I know I can't meet or would stress me out if I don't meet. And then afterwards, let's say, in a perfect world, I get 6th or 7th like I did. And I look at the end of the day, I go, man, I ain't qualified for the games. That sucks. I was ecstatic with 7th. So there's no reason for me to kind of like, put those expectations to go to the games or be top 3 or win and then not meet them and then, be angry because I know where my training's been for the last few years. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself.
So you snatch as the first event and you let's see, you hit 280, which
Yeah.
Is that tying a PR?
Tying a PR. Yep.
Okay. So that's always a good feeling. And then you proceed.
So
yeah, go ahead.
For the snatch, I wanted to hit 265. In case you're wondering, I wanted to hit 265. I hit 245. Then I hit 260, and then I loaded 275 on, and I turn around and ask our coach. So my brother and Jake Lockhart, who programs for Mayhem Athlete, I said, hey, what did Luke hit? Luke Parker, my training partner. I go, what did Luke hit? He goes, I think he hit 280. I go, I can at least tie him. So I threw 280 on and hit it. It was just one of those like game time decisions. I'm like, I don't want Luke to beat me. I'm like, I don't want Luke to beat me. So so I had to go for it, and it was funny in the back because he had just missed 295, and he was all upset, and I was like all ecstatic that I tied him at 280, and then we kind of started our battle all weekend about that.
Yeah, no disrespect to Luke Parker, but man, you did work on that dude. You did work on a lot of people. So tell me about Inception, because that was really the turning point of the weekend for you. Well,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'll ask the question. Do you think it was the turning point of the weekend?
Yes. Yeah. It changed everything. So I knew going into that workout that I could do well. And Luke was very adamant that I was going to be top 3 in that workout. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. I go, these guys are nuts. Like, there's no way I can keep up. Yeah, I'm like, there's no way. I go, just because I happen to be good at running, I'm good at wall balls, and I'm good at muscle ups. I'm like, a lot of people are good at that stuff. Just because I'm good at it doesn't mean I'm the best at it. And in my heat, I was with Luke was in my heat. Marquand Jones was beside me, and then Adam Klink was a few rows down. So I had an idea of where the really good guys were. Adam Klink, we all know he can run a sub 5-minute mile. So
I was about to say he's crazy fit.
So I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to crush this run. And then I finished the first run. It was 900. I finished first run, and I think I'm all the way almost under the rig before anyone else gets off the runner. And I get off the run, and I look both sides, and it's empty. I was like, buddy, you screwed up. You can't win. You can't win the first run of a workout and win the workout. That never happens. And so I'm walking to the rig, and I'm like defeated. I'm like, you're an idiot. So I walk over to the rig, and I start hitting muscle ups. And as the workout goes on, I stay in the lead, and I am killing myself to stay in the lead. I mean, I am killing myself. I finish it, and obviously I end up getting third. And that workout, messed me up. It messed me up. Like it hurt my stomach. I just went too hard for too long. Like I think I just started wearing my Whoop, and I think I was like 188 was like the lowest my heart rate got to after that run.
What?
It was just like it was feathering the top of my ability the entire time. And like when I found out, I think I was in 7th after that. And I was staying with my manager, Lance Kelly, and he's like, dude, he's like, you're in 7th right now, and I think I was like maybe 20 points out of a qualifying spot, and then a little bit of anxiety, set in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I go, I could do it this year, I could go this year, and it could be my first year of the games, which. I tried not to set those expectations still, but I was like, it was there. I was like,
it was there.
Yeah. I was like, okay, just stay calm. We're going to the last day. Just do what we've been doing. Don't think about it.
I loved on that road to the games, which was a great YouTube video for people that want to check it out.
It is a cool YouTube video for sure. They did great.
Yeah, they did a great job, and Roy is always just a voice of CrossFit, so it's always good to hear him for sure. It was interesting. This is no hate on the camera guy, but it was funny because the camera guy asked you, he was like, "So are you going to do the last chance qualifier if you don't qualify?" I'd have been like, "Motherfucker, shut up!" Like I'm trying, but like you were like so calm, and you were like, "No, I'm not going to do it," and I was like, "Wow." So before we get to the last chance qualifier, though, okay, so Zach Watts, who was on the podcast, and all around good dude,
for sure.
So he gets that was his worst finish, and he'll tell you he's not good at running. So he gets 26th place. He gets a cap plus 24 reps. You get 3rd. This is Inception, and then from there, the next workout, Tri Wizard Cup, you get 8th. He gets 12th. So what is needing to happen is happening.
It's happening, yeah.
So it comes down to, and maybe I just want to make sure this is how it plays out. It really comes down to that last workout with you needing really like 2 spots.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It came down to the last workout. We needed 2 spots in between us. I think he took 2nd on that workout, maybe. So he did everything you could have done.
4th.
No, you haven't. 4th? Yeah, so.
4th on Kratos, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to win. That's a heavy. That's a tall order against the competition. I had to win for him to get 4th and me to go to the games. So he did everything he needed to do. It ended up being not a great workout for me. All those movements aren't terrible. I'm not terrible. I'm rope climbs are by far Legos rope climbs are by far my best movement in CrossFit.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Maybe second to pegboard, but they're like one and the same, so you can't really compare the two.
Yeah, it's the same movement essentially.
Yeah. And so I was excited for that. Strict handstand push-ups, I'm not amazing at, but 4 that really had no weight on the workout. The workout came down to the dumbbell snatch, and if it wouldn't have, it may have been a different story. But Zach Watts, as we know, is a beast. He's strong. Dude. I mean, he's a strong dude. And so he did exactly what he needed to do on that workout. And I'm glad, I'm glad he made it to the games. I hate that he had to keep me out of the games, but I'm glad he went because he's actually a pretty good friend. So I was actually happy to see him go. He came down for the very first Train with Rich. I don't know if he said anything about that. The Train with Rich camp. He came to the very first one. Yeah, came to the very first one, and I met him there, and I kind of knew him. I would see him at regionals or whatever in passing. Since then, but I finished the last workout. Looked around. I knew exactly. I knew that he beat me, and I didn't beat him, and that's all I cared about. I go. I didn't. I'm not going. And then once I finished, it was like I finally had I had some serious emotions about the season. I was like, dude, you almost made it to the games. I was like, it wasn't a mistake or an accident. You almost made it to the games. You're good enough. Dedicate as much as you can to it because you're going to do it. Like it's just a matter of time now. And so it was upsetting, but good. It was a good feeling.
And I would assume that's the feeling that drove the last chance qualifier decision.
Yeah. Because I I'd say that night I was like, man, I do not want to compete again in a month and go over that and like try to make it through the last chance. But again, pretty much like competing this year is like the fear of the unknown. It's like, maybe you don't make it, but maybe you do. Maybe there's that off chance you do make it. So just do it. Train hard, do it, dedicate what you can, do it, and then see what happens, because at the end of the competition, if you like look at the workouts and maybe I did 1 or 2 and I would have been, oh man, I've been top 3 in that workout, or top, if that would have happened, I would have looked at it and been pissed off because I didn't do it. So, so I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, it was just, and that's kind of what I gathered from your video, on the road to the games was like,
yeah,
it was like, yeah, I could not do it, but then I'll never know. And if I look back in 10, 20 years, it's like that's going to eat at me. And the only time that I can avoid, it's like I can have this momentary pain going through the competition and the ups and downs, or I can live with kind of an eternal pain. It's kind of what I gathered.
Oh yeah.
Of like not knowing.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's, I can't waste these, what I consider my good years of competing, because these are, 21, 22. I know I'm still somewhat young for the sport, but these are the building block years. If I can stay healthy and do the right things, that I can have a good career. Guys are still competing very well to 30 and 32 at right now. If I make it next year or the year after, I have still a good 10 years of competing at the games at least. So it's like, trying not to get caught up in the fact that, maybe, you look at Justin Medeiros, he's like 4 months older than me or something. Like, I can't get caught up in the fact that, he's a beast and he's actually a good dude. And so I'm happy to see him do as well as he is. And, but it's like, I can't get caught up in his story. His story is not mine. I can go to the games. I don't need to follow in his footsteps. I need to do what I need to do to go. So, I can't get upset with like thinking, oh man, you're behind, because I know I still have time, and I know that I just maybe need another year or two to where some of those guys are, at that level already.
So is it safe to say you're back?
You cut out. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry about that. I said, is it safe to say that you're back?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, very, very safe to say that. Like, it's all I think about, and it's upsetting right now because I don't need to. I need to like kind of have some balance right now, because if I focus too much on it right now, I don't want to burn out at the wrong time of the season. But but it's what I want to do. Like, there's no question in my mind that this is what I want to do. And like I talked to I'm talking like, people that are close to me. I'm like, I get uncomfortably fired up about it at the worst times because I just, it's what I want to do. And it's like, I can't do anything about it right now. I just have to do a little bit about it at a time. And I get like this good, this good anxiety about like, okay, what do I need to do now? I need to be stretching right now, or I need to be, I need to go to sleep, or I need to get up and have some breakfast, or I need to go do this training session. And that's the kind of like little pressures that I need, is just like a little bit here and there to want to do better.
Yeah, I get that. And it's just, and it's this fire that like, nothing can create that.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you have it or you don't. It's like people want to say is it intrinsic? Is it not? I think that drive is either you're a person that has that or you're a person that doesn't. Yeah. And like and this is when I reached out to you initially, because I was like, dude, this guy has a story and I want to hear it, is when you said, man, and I'm paraphrasing, so forgive me, but you said something to the extent of, hey, I sit in my room and and it was kind of a joke, but I sit in my room
it's true, man.
I have these thoughts and I'm wondering, other people have to have these.
Yeah. Like, yeah, man, I just like I said, I get uncomfortable. Like, it is uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable in my own skin when I start to feel like all this. It's like, like a fire burning in me. It's like, it's uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to do about it. But, I'm like, okay, I need to do something. What do I need to do? And I started to go through the list of stuff I should do. And then I'll like text our coach Jake and go, hey, I need to do, I need to work on my mobility here, and like, send me something for this. Or, it's just like, It's fun, man. It is just, that's the only word I can put. It is just fun. Like, I love it. Like, I really do. I really do just enjoy, I enjoy competing so much. Like, I love the nerves that I get before. I love the high you ride afterwards. And I enjoy the in-betweens. And, like, I was thinking, and this is even a little bit different, but I was thinking in the second event, whatever it was, the ski, chest to bar, tank push, I don't even know what it was called. I completely forget.
Yeah, the torque tank.
Yeah, the torque tank push. And I was thinking in the middle of it, like, it was a push down, and it was like this long ski. And I hate to ski, and like it's my least favorite machine. And I'm doing the ski, and I'm like, man, like, this hurts already. You know, this is the first ski, and this workout hurts. I'm like, maybe I'll just slow down a little bit. And then, the same thought came in my head, is like, okay, if you slow down, or like, if you go hard, you may blow up, whatever. If you slow down, you won't blow up, you'll make it through, and you may not do great. I was like, but is that really, are you really going to leave it up to chance to see what you can do? I'm like, nah, like, just kind of dig your heels in. I'm like, this is where you want to be. I had a real big internal conversation with myself. I go, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. I go, sometimes it's not comfortable, but it's, this is in the bigger picture of it all. It's all fun. I'm always having fun doing it. It hurts a little bit in the time, but you cross the finish line, your friends and family are excited to see you do good. Your buddies you're competing against, even, like, it's cool to see them at the finish line and be like, man, that workout sucked, and that's always fun. So it was just like, you can, like, just push now, like, just, this is where you wanted to be. You've and I even thought this during one of the quarterfinals workouts, it was the GHD workout. I'm doing, the GHDs, and I'm like, man, why am I doing this to myself? This hurts. I'm like, no, man, this is where you want to be. You've been training, you've trained, like, think about the kid who was 13 or 14 years old who wanted to do this. You're doing it. Like, right now it's happening. Like, don't waste this moment not doing your best. Like, go as hard as you can, make it worth it. And at the end of all the events, where I would do, I thought that, and at the end of the weekend, I even thought that. I'm like, this is that little kid who wanted this. Like, you're him now. Like, you're doing it. So, like, don't waste this opportunity. And that's what it was. So yeah, like, that fire is like, it's uncomfortable at times, but but I wouldn't trade it. No way.
Dude, that, like, gives me some chills. Like,
yeah.
Like, especially what you just said about that kid that wanted this.
Yeah.
You're doing it now. It's interesting. I heard him, speaking of Matt Fraser, we talked about him earlier. I heard this quote from him. He said, when it sucks in the gym and it's the most painful, realize that's what you're here to do, and don't waste it.
The video with him and Medeiros, dude. I think if there's a CrossFit YouTube video, I've seen it. So I could probably quote them all. But yeah, no, for sure. That I watched that one with him and Medeiros, and like, I thought that before he said that, and I was like, okay, well, that's a way to put it into language. That's put some words with it. That's exactly what it is. It's like, you're wanting to hurt. Like, you're going in there, and at the end of it, it's all fun. Maybe it hurt a little bit, but then you're, like, really happy with the effort. You had fun doing it. You're with friends. So it's like, this is what you want to do. This is what you signed up for. Like, you want to do this. Yes, it doesn't feel great sometimes, but I think, like, the old saying of, like, like, what is it? Like, you have to be uncomfortable. I can't even remember what the quote is, but it's like, nothing great comes out of comfort, or something like that. Like, it's like, you're not going to be great being comfortable all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's this whole mindset of just doing today what others won't do, so you can do tomorrow what others can't do. I mean, it's really, that is the encapsulation of what we're doing as CrossFitters, and I think that's why it's kind of so attractive in a really weird, again, sadistic type of way, because it's like, you are the master of your own destiny, so to speak, in CrossFit. And I think I've never met a CrossFitter that's not an OCD control freak. Never met one.
Yep. Yeah.
show me one, because it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. No,
right?
No. You have to be. You have to be.
It's like if I do more mobility, I will see, if I do more ankle mobility, my pistols will get better, right? There's this direct correlation, but like you said, it's building blocks. It's not oh poof, there's the house. It's okay, cool. I laid the foundation, the block foundation. Okay, now what? Yeah.
Anyways,
but I'm curious now, as you're a little bit older, like what would you say? What advice would you give to that kid that's 14, 15, whatever the case, getting into this thing?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about it at all. Keep it fun. Like make sure it's always fun. Like I have more fun now, and I think it's because I've been through, right now I'm at a point where what I consider my second chance. Like I had, I had the first chance, and like I said earlier, it was seemingly stripped away. I was never going to do it again.
Wow.
And I never thought about it again. So now I'm in that second chance, and I'm more mature for sure. And like that, I don't want to waste the second chance. That I would just tell him, I go, don't waste the chance you have, because you never know when it's, if it could get stripped, or if or when, or, you don't know the future. And the more you put into it, the more sure of the future you can be, because like,
wow, that's good.
This is what I say a lot, and I say this a lot. If I do everything right and I work as hard as possible, it can still not go your way. But would you rather not do the right things and not, would you rather put 75% of the effort and be able to look back and go, maybe if I gave that 25%, that other 25%, I could have done it. Maybe you could, maybe that wasn't enough if you would have gave 100%. But you'll never know. You didn't do enough. You didn't do everything you could have done, and now you'll never know. So that's all it is like, don't waste the chance you have. Pretty much, I'd say that to anybody. Don't waste the chance you have. It can be stripped away super quick and very easily. So you have to take advantage of it for sure.
So it's safe to say Angelo DiCicco is back. He's going to compete in the 2022 Open and kick ass, take games, all those things.
So, the plan is to have a good off season, train and compete. I think I'm really seriously looking at going to, I think this week will be finalized, and I'm going to the Madrid CrossFit Championship, and I which I guess was a sanctional, but now is just one of the bigger competitions that is run by Loud and Live, and I'm excited to do that. I want to compete I want to compete during the off season. I want to have fun doing it, and and I want to I want to go to the games next year, and I know I can. I know I'm good enough. There's no question in my mind that I can do it. I just need to do the right things to get there. I need to dedicate that 100% to it, and I'm excited to. That's what I want to do. So it's not a sacrifice, like you said. It's what I want to do. I want to go to the games next year, and I want to go to the games for several more years. So that's the goal. That's there's no other goal than that. So it's just up to me to do it.
I love it, dude. Man, I sincerely appreciate your time, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
This has been a lot of fun, dude.
This is awesome. Yeah,
I love for real. This. Is just before we jump off, is there anything that you'd like to add? Maybe I didn't ask, or any input that you have that you'd like to share?
I think what I just said kind of sums it all up. Is that you never know if it can get stripped away. So take advantage of the chance you have. I'm very lucky and blessed to have the second chance that I do have, and I'm not gonna waste it. And I don't think so. I wouldn't wait for the second chance. Just take advantage of the chance you got, and don't dedicate everything you can to it, whatever it is. Don't waste the opportunity you're given, for sure, in anything.
Dude, that's awesome. I'll put all your show or the link to your Instagram in the show notes, so if people want to connect, they can connect there. And is there any sponsors or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so first, kind of foremost, is Lance Kelly, who my manager. I don't know if you know him. My manager who helps me. He's Zach's manager as well.
Yep.
He helps me with pretty much everything I do. He is Chief Branding Officer, I think is his title, at Nova Labs.
Yeah.
And so he kind of he actually is one of the big guys that's kind of helped me kind of get back into it. He's just kind of pushed me to. He makes a joke that I went from the couch to semifinals, like that. And so, which is almost true. But yeah, he kind of pushed me. He wanted to. He kind of reached out for him, and Nova wanted to sponsor me. But yeah, Nova Labs, Lance Kelly, and then look at that. I'll actually plug my water bottle because I can't go Ruck.
Go
Ruck. Yep.
Go Ruck, baby.
And
Awesome.
then Mayhem Athlete, man. Mayhem Athlete. Obviously, got the shirt on. Mayhem Athlete. I think code Angelo, all caps, will get you a discount there. So if you want to follow what we're doing, I actually program for or do some of the programming for the teens and the masters now. So if you're teens or masters, obviously I'd like to help you. And we have a great program. That's what that's what I follow. That's what Rich follows. And obviously it works. I mean, it's what Haley follows. It's what a lot of games athletes follow. I wish I had the number right now, but I think we have like so many games athletes, like individuals, teens, and masters. So if you want to be a part of that, yeah, go on Mayhem Athlete. For
there
sure.
you go, and save some money, Angelo.
Yeah,
cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I'll put it all on the link.
Awesome.
Thank you again, and
thank you,
dude. It was a pleasure. If you're ever in Birmingham, because I'm right down the street. If you're ever in Birmingham,
yeah, not too far.
Yeah, if you're in Birmingham, holler at me. But
yeah,
all right,
man.
dude. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. All right, y'all. See you.